How many of you right now are really ready to learn the law of solid ground? If you are, say aye. Aye. Here it is, you guys. Let's dive into this information right now, okay? Number one is obviously this, the law of solid ground, for your notes, okay? Trust is the foundation of leadership, okay? All right, it is the most important thing. The most important thing is trust. All right, we're going to talk about how to gain that trust here today. So leaders cannot repeatedly break trust with people and continue to influence them. So hopefully, did you guys find this part in your notes? Everybody, if you need a little bit of help, talk to your neighbor. It's very easy. It's the one that says Law of Solid Ground Live Training. Leaders cannot repeatedly break trust with people and continue to influence them. What does that mean? That means that you want to not break trust. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to do that, okay? Obviously, here it is. Skills are easy to develop. Skills are easy to develop. A lot of times, guess what will happen? You'll have people that were like, look, you know what? I want to develop my skills. Obviously, right? You want to become a more effective communicator. But guess what? The most important thing is the character. You understand? If you've got character, you can develop skills. Skill set, easy to do. Character's hard to develop. Why? Because you don't develop character. Character it's forged and carved. Okay? So you want to realize to develop your character, some of you right now, you're like, what is some good material to really develop my character? Okay, obviously developing a leader within you is phenomenal. Okay? But even above and beyond that, audio program-wise, my favorite personal development of all time, the one that made the biggest impact on my life is by Jim Rohn. It's called Cultivating an Unshakable what? Yeah. Character, okay? Cultivating an unshakable character. Talk about something, if you really want to just kind of grow like never before, and the next region I'm going to be talking about Think and Grow Rich. And there's a lot of that good stuff in there, but obviously, you guys, skills, we develop skills. Skill set's easy to do. Character is the most important thing. So you look for character. You recruit character. You teach skills. How do you recruit character? Let's talk about. What does it look like? Okay, here it is. People know when you make mistakes. You just got to be aware of that. People know, guess what, when you make what? People know that, right? The real question is whether you're going to fess up. So when you make a mistake, you got to fess up. You got to, hey, look, you know what, I messed up. Okay, if you do, you can often regain the trust. Right? We talked about it in the law, in the Influence Mastery Workshop, right? What did we talk about? Okay? Right? If you make a mistake, all right, admit it quickly and emphatically, right? You always want to make sure that, guess what? If you do something wrong, that you notify and let everybody know. Why? Because guess what? Everybody knows already. And whenever they see that, they go, okay, at least this person has enough confidence to say, look, you know what, I messed up. And if they do, then guess what? Now people will, right? But if you keep doing it over and over and over again, people are like, oh, I'm just not going to follow this guy because he steps on too many damn landmines. So here it is. You want to remember that, okay? Always remember that, okay? Often, that's the key. Now, recognize this. Law of solid ground for your notes. Okay, how does a leader build trust? How does a leader build trust? By consistently exemplifying competence, connection, and character. Okay? By consistently. That's the key word. Consistently. You got to be consistently consistent, not consistently inconsistent. Consistent. How do you do that? Okay, by exemplifying competence, by exemplifying connection, by exemplifying character. Okay, people will forgive an occasional mistake on ability. Let's face it, right? Somebody's doing a presentation and they mess up a little bit, then guess what? We'll forgive that, right? They do a presentation, but it's not that good. We'll forgive that, won't we? Sure, right? Now, and we'll forgive you if you don't have the time to connect. Sometimes they look, you know what? They're going to forgive you if you don't have time to connect. However, they won't trust someone who has slips in character. If you slip in your character, people aren't going to trust you. You have to tell the truth. You've got to tell the truth. And more importantly than just telling the truth is you've got to live that. I'll give you an example. If you tell somebody, guess what? I'll be there at a certain time, then guess what you do? You be there, man. Or you kill yourself to get there. And what'll happen is what? People respect that. If you're going to be late to something, guess what? You notify. Let them know ahead of time so they're not looking for you. You know what I'm saying? If you tell somebody, hey, I'll be there in 10 minutes, but you know it's going to take you 15, you've got a character problem. You have a character problem. That's a major character flaw. Just tell them, I'll be there in 20, and then you show up in 15. Do you guys know what that is? Today, I just came from my son's football game. So these guys knew last night that I was going to be here as soon as I could, but they don't count on me to be there by 12. Start at 12 without me, and then I'll show up as soon as I can. But you understand, you let people know, you got to notify them. Don't just have people waiting for you. Where are they? Because then guess what happens? Now you're known as that person that, guess what, doesn't keep their word. You don't ever want to be in that scenario. All right. Come here. I can't read, bro. I got my eyes are crap. All right, perfect. No problem. Oh, yeah, okay, good. Okay, no problem. So I like this, okay? How do you do this, all right? You got to make sure that you have that attitude, that mindset that says, you know what? You know, if I tell you something, that it's going to be done. Here's what happens, though. Here's what happens. The reason why I noticed it, because I've got people that I work with, obviously, that have character flaws, and I try to find out what it is. Like, why do they consistently lie? What I found out is, a lot of times they don't want to let someone down. So what they'll do is they'll communicate too much because they don't want to let someone down, but automatically they're going to let someone down because guess what? They're letting their mouth overload their back. Did you guys catch that? So you want to make sure that, guess what? You decide right now that you're going to become that leader. That you're going to become the best that you can possibly be. Right now. And say, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to get the job done. I'm going to step up and I'm going to communicate that message and I'm going to live my message. That's the key, man. Trust me. That's the biggest thing. If you have that character, you're going to attract people and you're going to attract the right people. Why? Because you're telling them the truth. Hey, look, you know what? You can count on me. I'll be there. I'll get the job done. What does that mean? When you say that to somebody, what does it mean? Does it mean that you're going to be there or not? You've got to always keep your word. That's the most important thing, man. If you get good at that, you get everything in the world is yours. Why? Because most people don't do it. Most people don't. They let other people down. And they consistently do it. And people know, look, if I follow that person, I'm not going to get there. So you have to raise your level of expectations for yourself and have that law of solid ground. All right, here it is. Next thing I'm going to just train on real quickly, and then we're going to watch the video on this. Okay, here it is. Character communicates. Very powerful. A person's character quickly communicates many things to other people. Okay, here are the most three important ones. Okay, here are the three most important ones. Number one, for your notes, character communicates consistency. Leaders without inner strength can't be counted on day after day because of their ability to perform change constantly. Very powerful. Some days you're hot, some days you're not. You got a problem. Why? Because it's about you. Seriously, when you first get in to our business, you're going to have some days that are going to be ups and downs when you first get in. Right? Because you haven't made that commitment yet. Once you make that commitment, every day is a good day. Why? Because it's not about you. People ask me, a guy came up to me, I think probably about 2 weeks ago in the Orange County meeting, came up to me and he said, Tim, how do you consistently stay positive? I'm like, because it has nothing to do with me. I'm not doing this business for me, I'm doing this business for other people. Trying to help them get to where they need to go. And you can't be a true leader, right, if you're emotionally having ups and downs. It doesn't make any sense. People don't want to follow people that can't control their emotions. So guys, you got to be that, my mentor told me you have to be like a duck. Calm on water, but underwater be paddling like crazy. See how smart that is? So guess what we got to do? Understand that character communicates consistency. Okay? Obviously, number two, for your notes, I like this one. Character communicates potential. Very powerful. Character communicates potential. Okay? Weak character is limiting. Okay? Who do you think has the greater potential to achieve great dreams? Follow me on this. Someone who, on one hand, is honest, disciplined, and hardworking, or someone who's deceitful, impulsive, and lazy. Do you guys see that? Think about it. Which one would you want to follow? Somebody that's honest, disciplined, and hardworking, or somebody that's deceitful, impulsive, and lazy. That's everybody's talking about, Tim works so hard, Tim works so hard, Tim works so hard. Dude, it's not that I work so hard, it's just I only know one speed. That's all out. But it's not just I work so hard and I let down in other areas of my life. Whatever I'm doing, guess what I'm doing? My absolute very best. Whatever you do, do your absolute very what? Best. That's the secret, okay? So obviously you guys got that. Number 3 for your notes. I think you'll like this one, okay? Character communicates respect. We're going to train on the law of respect today. I think you're going to like it. Okay? When you don't have character within, you can't earn respect, okay, without. Okay? So if you don't have it within, you can't respect without. Okay? How do leaders earn respect? Okay? By making sound decisions, by admitting their mistakes, and by putting what's best for their followers and organization ahead of their personal agenda. That's the deal. Why? Because if you're worried about your personal agenda and what's in it for you, people aren't going to want to be around you. You have to have that attitude, that mindset that you're going to make it no matter what. You're going to be taken care of no matter what. That's called confidence. Right? When you know and you know that you're going to make it, you have that confidence, then guess what happens? Now you don't have to worry about you because you know you're taken care of. You just got to focus in on other people. You've got to understand that it's not about you. It's about pulling out from other people what they've got there already. But my favorite example of this was what happened to me on Thursday. Thursday, my son's football team was down on first quarter 19-0. And we came back and smashed them 24-19. Do you guys see what I'm saying? That's exciting. But here's what I'll tell you guys. How we did it is I never stopped communicating, guess what? My confidence in them. Do you see that? They knew that, guess what? I believed in them. So they mess up. They throw an interception, man, and they run it back for a touchdown. They look at me. I'm the same guy that I was right before that play as I was after. Why? Why am I going to let outside circumstances change something on the inside? But all the other parents and people were like, come on, get it together, get it together. Not me. Same exact thing the whole time. They score another touchdown. They look over at me because they know they're letting me down. Same thing all the time. They just let them score another touchdown. They look at me. Same thing all the time. Scoreboard has nothing to do with my attitude. My attitude is positive, and I'm going to find out, guess what, what's in you. Yes. And then guess what? They finally got to the point they said it doesn't make a difference whether we win or we lose. Guess what? They believe in me. And when they know that, guess what? Then they want to perform at an optimal level. See, you got to realize something, man. You've got to always understand that, guess what? You can make it happen. You understand? You've got the potential, okay? You've got to understand that you've got that potential to be able to do incredible things. So guess what? Character communicates respect, okay? When you don't have character within, you can't earn respect without. Okay, how leaders earn respect by making sound decisions, by making their mistakes, and by putting what's best for the followers in the organization ahead of their personal agenda. Understand that, guess what? It's not about what's in it for you. It's about what's in it for them. The people that you're leading, guess what? You've got to understand what's important to them. And you've got to help them pull that out because it's there the whole time. Everybody's got what it takes. The people that you're leading, you've got to understand that. A lot of times, you're building an organization and you get upset because, guess what? People are performing at the level that you know that's possible. Doesn't matter. You keep on, guess what? Leading and believing in people. Why? Because if you believe in somebody, they're going to perform at that level. You've got to believe in people, man. Believe that they can do it. How do you motivate people? Believe in them. Okay? How do you get people to tap into their potential? Believe in them. Okay? Here it is, and I'm gonna wrap this thing up here in a second. Here, watch. Law of solid ground. Very powerful. No leader can break trust with his people and expect to keep influencing them. Okay? Trust is the foundation of leadership. Trust is the foundation of leadership. Violate the law of solid ground and you diminish the influence as a leader. Look, you can get people involved in your business by lying to them, but you can't keep them in the business by lying to them. They will quit. And then basically you got to do your work over again. Like John Wooden said, right, if you don't have time to do it right, when are you going to find time to do it over? You've got to have that attitude, man. You've got to have that mindset. You've got to have that character that says, hey, look, you know what? You can count on me. I'm going to be there, man. I will be there. And then show up early. Show up early, man. Show up early in what you say you're going to do. Give more than what people expect. Have people blown away by how much you care about them. Okay? So here it is. I'm going to break this thing down. I think you'll like this one. Okay? Character-driven people, okay, versus what? Emotional-driven people. Here's the difference. I think you'll like this. For your notes. Character-driven people do right, then they feel good. Right? Character-driven people do right, then they feel good. Emotional-driven people, guess what? They feel good, then they do right. Okay? Character-driven people are commitment-driven. I like that. Character-driven people are commitment-driven. Emotional-driven people are convenience-driven. Some people are like, man, you know what? Getting 8 preferred customers isn't convenient. So they ain't qualified for this training. You guys, guess what? Made a commitment because you're commitment-driven, and you got it done. You know what I'm saying? You guys are champions. Watch how this works. Character-driven people make principle-based decisions. Emotional-driven people make popular-based decisions. They make popular-based decisions. So you want to make principle-based decisions. Is this in alignment with who you are? Is this in alignment with, guess what, what you stand for? What's your passion? Your passion's got to be, guess what, to go out there and develop people. Watch this. Character-driven people, right there. Action controls their attitude. Action, guess what, controls their attitude. That's the funniest people in the world. Okay, is the fact that, guess what, the people that attitude controls their action. When you see people that are over here on the emotion-driven people, that are attitude controls their action, you know you got a nutcase. You got to stay away from those people. Where if they feel good, they do right. My favorite is what Jerry West said. Jerry West said what? Right? If you only work hard on the days you feel like it, you'll never get much done. You understand? So watch this. You guys, it's action, man. What comes first, a good attitude or positive action? You guys got to realize something. Guess what? You know what? The action comes first. You want to feel good, do right. You guys see that? You want to feel good, do what you're supposed to do. People always say, oh man, I just want to be happy. Well, that's easy. Be successful. Why? Because if you're successful, you're going to be happy. Why? Because if you become successful doesn't mean that you have a lot of money, because you can go out there and rob a bank doesn't mean you're successful. What I'm talking about when I say successful is, guess what? Living a life of congruency. Yeah. Saying, hey, look, you know what? This is what I'm all about. This is what I'm going to do. And you stand up for what you believe in, and you go all out, and you make it happen. No matter what. No matter what. And you've got that, you take the right action all the time. Because that action, guess what's going to happen? When you take the right action, okay, you're going to feel good. But if you wait to feel good, you're never going to take the right action. You got to go all out. Right here. Love this one. Believe it, then they see it. Okay? Character-driven people believe it, then they see it. Right? Emotional-driven people, they see it, then they believe it. You already met some of those people. Once you start making money, I'm going to get started. No, you won't. Once I start making money, then guess what? You're going to find another excuse on why you're a loser. Losers are always going to find a reason and an excuse to be a loser. Would you guys agree with that? Yes. Right? This is how they're wired. So you just go out there and make it happen and become successful. Why? Because that's just your responsibility. So you just get the job done. Character-driven people, this is a powerful one. Create momentum. I like that one. Right? You got the momentum makers, right? Those are the catalysts, man. Those are the right people. Then you've got the emotion-driven people. They wait for momentum. They wait, man. Once everybody is fired up, man, and once we start getting some momentum going, man, I'm going to step up. You've got to create that momentum. How you create that momentum is by taking positive action consistently. Watch this. Character-driven people, they ask, what are my responsibilities? What are my responsibilities? See, as a leader, you've got responsibilities. Emotional people ask, what are my rights? You see the difference? One is, hey, how can I help? And number two is, why do I have to help? You see the difference? Attitude, mindset, character. Here it is. Character-driven people continue when problems arise. For your notes, they continue when problems arise. Emotional people quit when problems arise. Character-driven people, for your notes, are steady. Emotional people are moody. Watch this. Character-driven people are leaders. Emotional people are followers. You want to make sure that, guess what? You're a character-driven person. I'm telling you right now, be that person. Yes. Be that person right now that you know that you could be. Because 100 years from now, what do you want to be remembered for? 100 years from now, what do you want them to say about you? And guess what? The way that you live your life, live it with character, live it with honesty, live with integrity. What's integrity? Okay, let's talk about it. Integrity, I like the what Jim Rohn says, right? Jim Rohn says, okay, integrity is the way that he says integrity is having a clear correspondence between your words and your actions. That's strong, by the way. Here it is, best one I've ever seen is this DWYSYWD. DWYSYWD. Do what you say you will do. Do what you say you will do. Do you guys see that? Yeah. That's the deal, man. You feel good when you do that, by the way. When you do what you say you're going to do. Long after you say it and leaves you. Say and do something and back it up and do it. No brainer, man. Love it. Right there. Here it is. It says, I'm not going to believe in the message if I don't believe in the messenger. Do you guys see that? People won't believe in the message if they don't believe in the messenger. You've got to have character. You've got to have honesty. You've got to have integrity. Why? Because you've got values, okay? And your values are basically doing what you say you're going to do, right? So here it is. My favorite right here is Zig Ziglar. And then we're going to jump into this. With integrity, you have nothing to fear. Okay? Since you have nothing to hide. With integrity, you do the right things. So you will have no guilt. Right? With fear and guilt removed, you're free to do your best. Think about how powerful that is. With integrity, you have nothing to fear. You have nothing ever to fear. Nothing. Why? There's nothing to fear. Ever when you have integrity. Why? Because you know who you are. As long as you know who you are, that's everything, man. Well, somebody said this about me. So, do you know who you are? At the end of the day, that you're the only one there to meet your members. What's the difference? All right, let me give it to you like this. John Wooden said this. Okay, image is what other people think you are. Okay? Integrity is who you really are. Do you see that? Integrity is who you know you are. Who are you? You know. And guess what? Somebody's like, well, I made some poor choices before. Guess what? Don't do it no more. Amend those poor choices. Do you see it? Watch. With integrity, you have nothing to fear. Since you have nothing to hide. With integrity, you have nothing, you will do the right things. Okay? So you have no guilt. So when you have integrity, you're doing the right things, so you never feel guilty. Do you see it? With fear and guilt removed, you're free to do your absolute very best. That is powerful. And that represents the law of solid ground. To have that attitude, to have that mindset. So here it is, you guys. How many of you by now are ready to get committed to no matter what, to put that law of solid ground deep in your heart and to live your life with solid ground? If you are, say aye.